If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. We have battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content every week. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by. This video is going over the RTT I went to this weekend, February 22nd, 2025. I brought the Adeptus Custodes Talons of the Emperor Detachment. I went 2-1 and got 4th, much better than last time. I think I needed a bit more reps with the list, and I could have gotten 1st or 2nd. But let's first take a look at the list, and then the games, and how they went. And here's the list I brought to the tournament. It was Talons of the Emperor. The name of my list was the Rule of 2. It came to 2,000 points. My Warlord was a Blade Champion with the Radiant Mantle Enhancement to give his unit -1 to the hit roll to any incoming attacks within 12 inches. For our other character, we had a Blade Champion with the Gift of the Terran Artifice to give him +1 to the wound roll in combat. Just for his model, not the whole unit, but still a little bit of extra punch for my Blade Champion. For my other data sheets, I had 2 Caladius Grav Tanks with the Arachnus Heavy Blaze Cannons, 2 units of 5 Wardens with the Guardian Spears and the Vexilla, 2 units of 3 Virtus Praetors with the Salvo Launchers, 2 units of 4 Prosecutors, 2 units of 4 Witchseekers, a Psychona Rhino, and then for my allied unit, I had the Calidus Assassin. So let's take a look at how my games went. Game 1 was against the Thousand Suns. I won that game 66-61. The primary mission was Linchpin, secondary was Fog of War, and tipping point was the deployment. And yet again, my first opponent was the Thousand Suns. My 5 Psychona units really helped in this match for scoring. The 2 Grav Tanks kept Magnus in his own deployment until turn 4. Turn 3, I did lose 3 bikes to Magnus, but he did have to move further back into his deployment with that movement in the shooting phase because I had rapid ingress them into his back lines in turn 3. I did lose the bikes, but it once again kept Magnus back in his own deployment. He did have a big brick of 10 Terminators. I was able to kill all of them except for 2 on turn 2. I had used Talon Pincer to reactive move 6 inches back. He used the double move stratagem to get back into shooting range, but he could not charge. The Wardens tanked all the shots and then charged them in my next turn. I sacrificed one of my Wardens unit in turn 3, turn 4 to keep Magnus tied up in his deployment. The bikes were able to add enough pressure to keep him on his back foot. It was close, but I was able to squeeze those last few points to get the win by 5 points. So game 1 was a win, on to game 2. Game 2 was against the Genestealers and the eventual winner. So I did lose that game, 94-74. The mission was Purge the Foe, Rapid Escalation with Crucible Battle Deployment. Custodes went first in this match, and this was a close game. It really came down to secondary scoring. I was able to purge more, while the Genestealer cults were able to get more on the objective scoring. The primary score ended up being quite similar, so it came down to the secondary draws. In turn 4, even with a redraw, I got a big 0 on the secondary. It was still a fun game. The Genestealer cults died easily, but there was always more on the way. The tanks really didn't do much this game, and they really didn't do much this tournament at all. Really, they added some shooting threat, but they didn't get to shoot that much. And once again, the bikes were great. The speed, toughness, and damage was a lot for the GSC to handle. It was a close game, but it was a loss, but at least it was to the winner of the tournament. Game 3, my last game, was against the Necrons using the Star Shatter Arsenal. And that was an 82-52 win. The mission was Burden of Trust, Rapid Escalation, and Search and Destroy was the deployment. And this was an army and detachment I know well. I played against Mike using the Star Shatter Arsenal quite a bit. I knew if I just knocked him off the objectives, he would have a hard time outscoring me. He did have 3 Doomsday Arcs and 3 of those Spider Walker things, but there was no Catan in his list. I was also able to draw his Doomsday Arcs in within charge range, and once I started making contact into his big guns, the damage of his list went way down. I had some great draws for turn 1, and it really helped start getting the momentum for the scoring. It was a great game. I had a lot of laughs with this opponent, but I knew this detachment quite well and how to get around some of the strengths. So that ended up being an 82-52 win, and I ended up going 4th in the tournament. I only lost to the person who made first, so not too bad. Much better than the last tournament. For some thoughts after the tournament, I didn't run into the Legion of Access, which was a shame. I wanted a chance to avenge the lost. I'm not sure if I like Talons as much in this new meta. I'm also feeling the pull of all infantry lists again. I was a big supporter of the all infantry list for a long time. The grav tanks are still amazing, but I think I could get more out of my units if I run them in a bit more MSU, but look for some more damage synergy in the shield host. One of my favorite things about tournaments is it gives me new list ideas, so let's go back old school and run a few infantry lists on the channel. Now let's finish the video with some final thoughts. I felt I did much better this time. The loss I had was from the secondary scoring. There's not too much I could have done to fix that other than position myself better next time. This was the third RTT in a row where I played the 1000 Suns the first game. I've won all those games so far, but still, it always seems to be the 1000 Suns. Next RTT, I think I will go with the Shield Host. I think that and the Solar Spearhead play more to my playstyle. I do have a few lists cooking for the Shield Host. Subscribe for weekly battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content. Like always, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.